Hello everyone, it's Ryan and Libby from Gale Force 9, and you've caught us in the middle of a game. Join us as we walk you through how to play a quick and exciting round of World of Tanks miniatures game. The first thing you'll need to play a game of World of Tanks, of course, is an opponent. With me today is Libby, who'll be fighting myself in track-to-track, eye-to-eye combat. Now you've managed to catch us a few turns into the first game scenario, so let's go over the mission brief. We've set the board up with 2 woods and 4 houses dominating the centre. Libby has deployed her tank in the back corner, and I've deployed from the front corner here. The objective here is really simple: obliterate your opponent's tank. Talking about tanks, let's see what we're playing with today.
I'm running the German Panzer IV-H. The Panzer IV-H is a tier 5 medium tank with a firepower of 4, mobility of 2, survivability of 1, initiative of 5, and 4 hit points.
And I'm playing this as Soviets with the T-34, which is also a tier 5 medium tank. The T-34 has a firepower of 4, mobility 3, survivability 1, initiative 6, and 4 hit points. Now we are already a few turns through here, and as you can imagine, we've traded some shots and dealt some damage. My T-34 has taken a single point of damage with some very good defensive dice rolls. Libby's Panzer IV hasn't fared as well, however, taking 2 points of damage and a critical hit, which has stunned the crew, reducing its initiative and firepower. And with that, that's all you need to know to get up to date. Jump on board with us as we play through a round.
Okay, so the first step is the movement phase. Players move their tanks according to their initiative order, starting from lowest initiative and working upwards towards highest. The T-34 has 6 initiative, whilst my Panzer only has 5, and remember that the Panzer's crew is stunned, so the initiative is reduced by 1 to a total of 4. With the lowest initiative, I get to move my Panzer first, using the movement arrow. Touching it anywhere onto my Panzer's hull, I can move the Panzer so it rests square alongside any point of the tail. The Panzer has a mobility of 2, so I can move twice like this in a round. And make sure to place a movement token to remind yourself how many times you've moved. We'll need that later.
Now I can move the T-34. The T-34 has a mobility of 3, so I have the option to move it 3 times. I also, however, have the option to keep it stationary, which will improve its shooting. So that's what I'm going to do here. And that's it for the movement phase. On to the best part, the shooting phase. In the shooting phase, players shoot with their tanks in initiative order, working down from the highest initiative to the lowest initiative. Again, the T-34 has 6 initiative versus the Panzer's 4, so the T-34 will shoot first. Before shooting, I will check line of sight to the Panzer. If I can draw a line from the center of the T-34's turret to at least 3 corners of the Panzer without passing through terrain, then I have a clean shot. If I can't, then the Panzer would be in cover. Because the Panzer is behind a house, I can't draw a line to 3 corners and the Panzer is in cover, but I can still shoot it because I can still see it. Time to roll some dice. The T-34 has a firepower of 4, so I will roll 4 dice against the Panzer. Not the best of rolls. However, because the T-34 is a medium tank, I may re-roll a single blank die. Now that's much better.
Now to the defensive dice. I can create a pool of dice starting with the Panzer's base survivability race, that's 1 dice. Next, because my Panzer moved twice, I add 2 more dice. And since Ryan's T-34 didn't move at all, I don't get any additional dice for that. But my tank is in cover, so I add 1 more dice for that.
Now there are 2 more ways to modify the defensive dice in the pool, being side shots and close range. Let's check close range first. Because the Panzer is not within an arrow's length of the T-34, the Panzer does not subtract a defensive die for being in close range. The second check is if the T-34 has a side shot on the Panzer. Drawing a line across the front of the Panzer's hull, we see if the T-34's hull crosses this line. As it doesn't, the Panzer doesn't subtract a defensive die for the side shot.
This gives me a grand total of 4 dice to roll in defense.
Let's compare these dice rolls. For every critical hit rolled in defense, the defender can cancel an attack dice of choice. Any uncancelled attack dice left, the attacker can choose to allocate. First to remaining defensive dice, then as hits. Comparing these dice, Libby can cancel my critical hit with her critical die. I allocate a standard hit against her standard hit die, leaving one standard hit die to go through.
After applying the damage to my already mutilated Panzer, I check that it hasn't been destroyed completely before firing back.
And after that, we're done shooting at each other and we move on to the command phase. The command phase is when we consolidate and tidy up the board before we're back at it again next round. First, we will check the victory conditions, and as we both still have our vehicles, and we both have some hit points, no one has one yet.
Next, I can attempt to repair that critical hit and unstun my crew. By rolling the dice, on a roll of a hit or a critical, I can remove that critical damage card and shuffle it back into the deck.
The last steps are to roll for advantage and tie up the battlefield, and we're ready for the next round. And that's a very quick rundown on how you play a game of World of Tanks.
Subscribe for more videos where we'll go over more ways to play, dive deeper into the different objectives, and setting up for an exciting game, including beating up your tank.
Now, excuse me, I've got an extremely shot up and damaged Panzer here that I have to destroy. Roll out.